One, two, three. First time using this program. Welcome to the Midnite Snax podcast. That's the first time I've ever said that. But here again is Leon Encore for an impromptu episode on the night of the Super Bowl. Last I checked, the Atlanta Falcons, I think they're called. I don't watch football, but
I don't follow sports either, so it looks like we're both lost.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to win, which I'd rather have them win than the Patriots. The Patriots have won enough. Give it to Atlanta. But I don't give a shit about football, honestly, or really any sport for that matter. What about you?
Yeah, I really don't follow sports, but I mean, if the teams are well enough for you to know in a certain way, I guess they're pretty good, like the Patriots. Like, again, I don't follow sports, but
Yeah,
the
not a
Patriots,
sports guy.
I know it's a football team, and if their name is well known and I don't have anything to do with sports, they have a good track record.
Yeah, they've won a lot of Super Bowls, and I don't know much about sports, but I know that they've won at least a couple of them over the last decade. But I watched a few seconds of the halftime show. It was Lady Gaga,
Oh,
and
I
I was
heard
like,
about that. It's all over
"Wasn't this
Facebook.
song from like 10 years ago?" It's like that rah rah la la la.
Bad
Unless it's like all of her
romance.
songs sound the same, but it was like that's
Right.
all I watched, and I watched like two plays, and I'm like, that's all the Super Bowl I can handle this year. It just bores me too much. It's
I
like
would have
you
uh I would have loved to be invited to one of those parties though, you know?
Super Bowl parties are fun, but it's more like for me, it's about food and talking to people at the party. I Football is like golf to me. Like it's you do one play for like ten seconds, then they replay it five times, play a beer commercial, a car commercial, another commercial, then they go back, do a 10-second play, and it's like, I don't know. And I don't get people who pay thousands of dollars to go and see these games and you can watch it at home. Like the tickets cost tons of money. You got to pay like $15 for a beer, $10 for a hot dog. That's like a guess. It could be more. And then you got to deal with the parking and getting out there. And it's like, I get the fact that if you like football, it's good to
Yeah.
go. But you can get a 12 pack of beer, like 10 pizzas, 20 pizzas, 30 pizzas, have a bunch of friends over and get drunk at home without having to worry about driving if you want
Yeah,
to do that.
and cops and everything, trying to get on your ass and stuff. But I guess in person it's different and they go for the experience.
Yeah.
Some people do it
Yeah,
like as a tradition to go out with their kid and actually go watch live football in person.
yeah, my brother loves sports. He watches like everything. He does all the fantasy leagues. He got all the apps and the passes to watch all the games on his iPad or whatever. But I just it's not for me, and it's cool if people like that. It's just doesn't interest me very much. But what I do like is the kind of hype around it. I mean, on one hand, it can be annoying, but I like just how people get excited about it. It's nice to see something positive amidst all the shit shows of the politics and just the world in general. It's like, okay, football, you can't mess that up. It's kind of a
You can't mess that
in my
up.
opinion, it's kind of mindless. It's like, okay, let's sit down and watch some football. I know a lot of people would say it's, it's an in-depth game, but from my point of view, it's like, it's football. It's lighthearted, at least compared to what's been going on lately.
Yeah, it's like a little nice break. As you get
Yeah.
older, you usually, well, I mean, as I've gotten older, I wasn't as interested in politics, but now they're constantly in my face that I have to know what's going on within that like different realm. But it's nice to sit down and see all these people talk about something else for a change. It's a little break away from, everybody getting angry around the dinner table because Trump is president and all that.
Yeah, but tomorrow it's going to be everybody hates Trump again. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right now the Patriots suck my dick.
it's going to be like, I hate Trump, hashtag Atlanta won or something, or Falcons win. It's going to be, I hate Trump wearing an Atlanta jersey. And I don't hate Trump at all. I'm just saying that in general, there's so much Trump hate out there.
And you're not
Um,
for him as well.
no,
Just
I'm not for him. I'm optimistic about Trump. I don't see. I think there's just so much hate right now that it's hard to see clearly. I didn't want Hillary to win, but I didn't really think there was any good candidate out there. I probably would have voted for Bernie if he had made it, but he didn't. And even his views weren't totally in line with mine. I think he was a little extreme, and then Gary Johnson was kind of. There was no good candidate, really. There's nobody there that really represents the people.
Yeah,
In
those
my
third
opinion.
votes are usually dead. I was gonna vote for Bernie, and I realized he really didn't know much of what he was talking about. And I don't want to stir up any, like, whenever, as soon as you step into the realm of politics, there's gonna be people who are really gonna hate you off the bat as soon as you say something
Yeah,
they agree with. But like I said, some Trump supporters were Bernie fans, and then they realized that there's something a little sketchy about them, because I saw Bernie as like another light personally, and then what ended up happening was, as I got into his policies and stuff, it kind of killed me a bit. And when he was like, "Oh, I'm against the establishment," he still went with he joined Hillary,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
He sold out, kind of.
yeah,
But
and he's a Democrat, and I get it, but the DNC fucked him over so bad, and I was like, "No, Bernie, man, you gotta
I think
can't
he
do that."
sort of did it to not making an excuse for him, but I mean, I think he really just didn't want Trump to be in office. Not that that's that much better, but yeah, he kind of did sell out. I mean, it's like at one point or another, all these people kind of have to like talk crap about each other. But now Trump's president and Hillary's showing up at the inauguration, and Obama's at the inauguration looking kind of unhappy.
Yeah,
But I don't know, man. The only thing I was so tuned into everything going on before the election was over. And then afterwards, it just became a complete shit show. And I was like, I'm just going to tune out of this because even just by ignoring it, not going out of my way to find it, I still see so much of it on social media and through
mhm.
whatever media I'm watching that it's like I'm still relatively, know what's going on a little bit. But
Yeah, everything's blown in your face lately, so
yeah,
I try to get away from it and at work. People, I still get notifications that I'm on Facebook sometimes in my breaks, and you can see a whole bunch of people getting pissed off about this travel ban.
yeah.
It's constantly there. So since there's so many people hating, it gets spread around like AIDS.
I think on both sides, there's people doing dumb stuff. I mean, these protesters, I don't think violence and destroying random people's property and destroying ATM machines and people's
Or
cars and punching
battery
people
and stuff like that.
and
Yeah.
spraying people in the face, that's not the answer. I understand the need for a protest, and extreme protest doesn't have to be violent. Um, but then again, there's people on both sides of the fence, and myself as someone who's more liberal leaning, I don't feel like I identify with a lot of these liberals that are out there and taking such drastic measures.
Yeah. A
So I
lot of
don't even know.
people a lot of people from the liberals or whatever actually hold some conservative views on the right, and sometimes they just stay in between and stay as a centrist or something like that,
Yeah, I feel like I'm more
because they
moderate.
saw how the far left can really do some damage.
I think I'm progressive when it comes to social policies. Like, I think people should be able to do what they want to do and whatever that looks like. If it comes to like gay marriage or marijuana or whatever like that kind of social policy, I'm like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you
But
gotta legalize that gay marijuana, man.
I don't want to go too far down the politics rabbit hole. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow with Mark. But speaking
I
of
wanna
a political
that debate
subject,
that debate that me and Mark are gonna go against. Um, I want to take probably a couple breaks and talk about something else while we all do the podcast together, because I really want to prepare myself, because we're on both two different opposite sides, and instead of making it like a full blown argument, I want him to see my side of it, because when we were talking, he actually went to the protests. And yeah, he's
yeah.
anti-Trump, but it's like, why would you go to the protests? That's very, what's the word? Counterproductive.
I don't know. I think there's definitely, I think protest is an important thing, but I think the way a protest is carried out is kind of what I just don't think the violence and the extreme and all the damage and property damage, it's not making your case look good. It's making it.
I get
It's
that. I'm
putting
all
more
for
fear
freedom
in
of
the world.
I'm all for freedom of speech. I'm all for everything. I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to like everybody. Everyone has choices. They have free will. But when it comes to damaging other people's properties, faces, cars, anything like that, then there has to be certain measures. Lines could be crossed in these types of hostile situations. For me, I just keep my ground and I try to educate people because that's the only way you can do. But it looks like if they keep pushing their agenda, and then sometimes, like the Women's March had nothing productive to do. There was no reason for all of them to be there. But
Yeah, it was hard to tell if it was a direct reaction to Trump or if it was just like a pre-planned march. I mean, Trump has said some things like 10 years ago that were bad, but honestly, so many people have said that kind of crap. I'm sure Obama and whoever else has said stupid things. But he was also a reality TV star, Trump. So he comes from a different background, and, I don't know. I just think
well, I mean, I
people are
feel
giving
like
him a hard
since
time about.
Trump is so successful, um, and I do know Trump can be an idiot sometimes and stuff like that. I can't stand by everything that he says, but the majority of things hold some nationalist views, which is like put your country first, put America first, the people, and that's what I can back him up on. It's just there's so many feelings getting in the way of facts, and that's what this whole thing is about.
And
It's about feelings being hurt.
it's a difficult line because Trump is a very passionate person when he speaks about things, but it's hard to tell with any politician what's real and what's not, and what's going to happen and what's not. I think people have not been giving Trump a fair chance. It's
Yeah, the
just been like
benefit of the doubt will
simple.
be like very great. Like you
Let's
need
see
to
what
see what he
happens.
could do. Yeah, exactly.
This
Let's see
Muslim
what
ban
happens.
was not really a Muslim ban. There was 7 countries that were banned, and a bunch of other countries that were Muslim were not banned, but it wasn't directly banning Muslims. And I
Yeah,
think it's a good thing to step up security. It might have gone about it in a little bit of a quick way. It could have been more warning, it seems like. But I think he has good intentions. I don't think he's like, let's get these Muslims out of here. I think he's trying to get rid of radical Muslims or where the threats are and fix that and I think it's not just Muslims, it's white people. We had a shooter a week or two ago. He went into a Muslim church or went into a mosque and shot a bunch of people there. And it's crazy to see like the timing on that kind of thing. There all this talk of radical Islamic terrorism, which I don't doubt there is. It definitely is there. But then you have this white guy go and shoot up a mosque, and it's like, how much of a coincidence is that? It's like it almost feels like it was planted by the government. Not to get into conspiracies, but the
too
timing on
late
that's
there.
impeccable.
Yeah.
But I would have rather had Trump won than Hillary, though neither of them felt like a good option to me because Hillary was so corrupt. We knew all this corruption that was coming out. I'm not saying Trump is a white dove either, but Hillary. I think what made me more lean towards Trump was that he's not part of the establishment as far as politicians go. He's like almost like a wild card, and like I've been sick of politics, and I think there's been so much false change. Anybody who gets in there says they're going to do all this stuff becomes bogus. At least Trump, there's like, all right, well maybe he's a little different. Maybe something will actually change. Maybe not, but hopefully it doesn't get any worse.
Yeah, well, just to clarify, that's just a buzzword everyone's bringing around. It's not a Muslim ban; it's a
Right,
travel
right,
ban.
right.
Bill Clinton has did it before, and somehow he wasn't seen as a racist. And I mean, Muslims are still allowed in here. It's just 7 countries were the main concerns. Um,
Right.
the thing is with that, 90% of the people in the Middle East are Muslim, so they're still allowed over here. Only some were banned. Those were the main concerns. We're not banning all Muslims. If we banned all Muslims, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Right. That would be that'd be crazy if it was just specifically Muslims, and I don't think people would stand for that. I think that'd be a much
No.
larger issue. But everything Trump does right now is under 1,000 times magnification. Everybody's looking at every move he makes, looking for any way to get him out of the office, because right when he won the election, nobody thought he was going to win. All the news sources, at least the mainstream news sources, are like 90% Hillary is going to win this. And
Yeah.
when Trump won, I was up that night in my hotel room traveling, and I was probably in Tennessee. And when he won, I was just sitting there with my mom, like, no way. I was laughing because I was like, there's no way. I thought it would be closer at least, but they all were like, Trump's won. And it was a very weird feeling in the air the next morning when I was in that hotel breakfast dining room eating my continental breakfast, just kind of looking around at people and kind of getting a feel of what was the mood in the air was.
Yeah, the vibe and all the did you feel like any negative vibes going around the room?
I felt negative. It felt like there was almost like a little bit of danger in the air. And my dad, who wanted Trump to win, was kind of like making comments to people like very pro-Trump. And I was like, Dad, you don't know what other people think. Just keep your mouth shut. You're embarrassing me in this hotel. Like, regardless of who won, it's like, don't talk about politics in public so loud. He talks in a way like everybody that hears him is like, oh, definitely, I agree. And I think that's a mistake in politics. People always talk like everybody should see it their way, and their way is the only right way. But that's the problem with labels in general: conservative, Republican, whatever, Democratic, liberal. Like, I just think with laws, we try to put everything into a little box, and things aren't that simple. Life is more gray than that.
Yeah, there's two parts to everything, and there has to be only one solution.
You look at something like abortion, it's like, okay, someone gets raped. Should they be allowed to have an abortion? What if someone is going to die from their child? Should that person have an abortion?
Of course.
What if that baby is going to have severe defects and maybe isn't going to make it? And it's going to cause, I mean, there's so many. That's just one example.
Those three reasons are an absolute yes to abortion if they do decide to.
And it could get a lot deeper than that, too. It's like maybe someone can't afford the child that wasn't planned. I mean,
it's like with that, it's just the left wing really is with the hookup culture. You know, they're like, oh, forget about relationships and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I've started to laugh at this. The political correctness became a very big thing over the last few years, and I found myself becoming a victim.
Especially with the far left.
I became a victim of this political correctness because I was in Chicago, and it's like, you have to be very careful about everything you say, and it's like, I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody, but like, for me, there's two genders. There's a boy and a girl. If you want to call yourself something else, that's fine. But don't expect me to know what your pronouns are. It's like, how am I supposed to know what your... It's a weird territory to venture into.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just basic. It is defined by your genitalia, obviously. They think that this, boy-girl thing was assigned. Everyone agreed. Everyone knows it. And now, the thing is with all these made-up genders, what it is, they could be called all they want. They could dress however they want. They can talk. They can act however they want. But the thing is, biologically, they're only one thing. And they just want to be put in a special category. And as soon as you hurt their feelings and tell them, well, I mean, there's only two genders. You got to be careful with the biologic because one gender is, it could be damaging to just put things in someone's head.
It's like a mental health issue, really. I mean, I know someone might be mad that I say that, but our societies have changed. The family system has changed dramatically over the past 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of damaged people out there, and there's a lot of unaddressed mental health issues. Yeah. And maybe it's not the case. Maybe I'm far off, but...
No, you're exactly right on that because if you follow one of the political YouTubers like I do, I watch a lot of Blair White, and she's a transgender woman. It is a mental health thing. It's just the thing is with social justice warriors and stuff like that. It's just okay. For example, there's a guy. He was born gay, right? He acts a little feminine. Oh my god, he wants to be a woman. That's okay. You could be a woman. Da 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 da. They make modifications to their body parts, and then they end up all depressed that they, chop their parts off and stuff like that. And made a switch. And then they end up committing suicide because they get heavily depressed. It is a mental thing with the transsexual thing. It's very rare. And what they do is they take a whole bunch of tests and therapy, and they're like, are you sure you want to go through with this? Because you have to remember it's a long process, and once you make the switch, you can't go back.
It feels like a cry for attention from people who didn't get enough
Yeah,
love, and that's not probably always the case. There's hermaphrodites who have, or people that are born with both parts, or people that are
yeah,
born
but the
looking
deal,
more of a certain way.
the deal with the hermaphrodite and stuff and born with two parts. So, because I have a couple of friends that were born with that. If there's a girl who was born with a penis and vagina, right? But she feels more like a woman, has more body features like a woman, you know, she just obviously she gets a dick cut off. For the boy, it's same thing, feels more like a boy, leans more
That's a
aside to the
sicko.
boy.
That's good.
man,
Good.
man, that's fucked up.
No, I was kidding.
No, that's funny, man. No, I get it.
Yeah,
This is
I
all
got you.
jokes.
The thing is, I feel like there's a lot I really don't know about, this topic in general. So I feel cautious about saying too much about it. In general, it's like there's so much to know about everything that I always, just even talking about politics, I didn't know we were going to do that. But what about this Milo Yiannopoulos guy? There was these protesters, and where was that? At Berkeley, the place where free speech was founded, and then these protesters go there and shut down the whole event.
Yeah, Berkeley, the college was all about free speech, and he was invited there by the conservative side, and the protesters just tried to silence him by destroying everything. And what ended up happening was he didn't speak in Berkeley and only talked to 100 people. He ended up going on the national news and talking about it in front of
Yeah,
millions.
there you go. That was a good idea. But who is this guy? I've heard his name so many times. I know he was banned from Twitter. I know he's pretty conservative, alt-right, maybe is the word for it.
Uh, I think so. What I know about him
He's an
because
author.
I just started following him. He is a gay conservative,
Huh.
white supremacist, Nazi or neo or whatever. Hates him. People call him racist, part of KKK, all that. But he's a very strong voice right now,
Yeah.
and he's really doing some good with the with promoting freedom of speech and stuff like that.
He seemed
He,
very normal in a video I saw him in earlier today talking about Gamergate.
yeah, yeah. Gamergate started a whole bunch of bullshit, and that's how I believe the social justice warriors thing came up.
It's a very interesting topic, the Gamergate thing. What other YouTubers, political YouTubers, do you watch? Sargon of the Akkad?
I'm not a big fan of Sargon. I am a big fan of Undoomed, Suit Yourself, Bearing, Blair White, Milo, idubbbz, Filthy Frank.
Oh, a new idubbbz video tomorrow. Content cop, most likely on Tana Mongeau. However you say her name,
Yeah, that's what
Tana
I was
Mongoose.
waiting on
That's
for.
what I wanted to talk about when I started this podcast, actually. Do you know about that drama with Tana Mongoose and idubbbz going to
Oh,
her
hell
little
yeah,
event?
man.
So I want to
Yeah, he
explain
said
it
nigger.
I want to explain it to the listeners really quick. So there's this, what is she, like 19 years old? She's like a vlogger named Tana Mongoose. And she was
No,
doing,
she's a story time teller.
okay, she tells crappy stories on her YouTube channel. And she had like a meet and greet event where her fans paid $200 to go meet her after some bull crap or something she did. And idubbbz, who is like a huge YouTuber, a couple million subscribers, he did a content cop on Leafy. Go check his channel out. If you don't know idubbbz, you should go do that right now. But he went to this meet and greet and went to go meet her and get a picture taken, put his arm around her, and he said, say N-word and with a hard R. That's the phrase they're using. He said the N-word with a hard R. And somehow using the hard R makes it a bad word, but if you use an A, it's somehow acceptable or more acceptable. So
Well, it's just more in the context of where you had to, say it. It's really depend because he says it unironically in comedy.
yeah, and he gets
He
away
doesn't
with it.
really mean it as an insult. Where she had snaps when she called idubbbz out, people were digging through her history, and she actually
Right.
used it in a very angry manner. So the context really made it so, yeah, she really did know what she was talking about. Obviously, she used it in an angry manner. idubbbz,
Yeah.
everybody knows idubbbz. Everybody memes the word. Everybody knows the word. And when they use it on YouTube, they either read it off a tweet or, when they recite something, or they just use it in a unironic manner. So it's not really, saying it in a racist way. It's just as a cheap punchline.
Yeah, so the thing with this whole thing is Tana, she went on YouTube and made like a 20-plus minute video kind of crying about this and saying that idubbbz grabbed her by the neck and held her down, and she was like terrified of this. But there's a video, a cell phone video that came up showing he had his arm just normally around her shoulder like you would for a picture, and he was looking straight forward at the camera, and she looked fine, and he goes, "Say nigga."
Yeah. With that, he paid $200 on her merch
$200.
just for a meet and greet. $200 for a YouTuber that tells shitty stories and extends it for no fucking reason. And the only reason why she's even famous in the first place is because she's pretty, obviously.
Right.
That has to be the only way, because I do not see any fucking talent.
Yeah. And I think people just like her because she panders to them like kind of slut, she's I don't want to like slut
she panders them as to she uses feelings in her sexual appeal.
It's little kids that are watching her videos, or girls that want to look like her. She's got no talent. She's just a face. And
just a pretty face.
I think idubbbz is going to do this content cop tomorrow. And I don't know if he expected this video to blow up. I don't think he expected her to make a video, because now everybody has covered this topic to death. I mean, I think Bionic Pig and Zaptie, who was just exposed as a sociopath. Did you hear about that?
Oh, you know what? Chris Raygun is also one of the YouTubers I follow, and he did cover this story as well.
Chris Raygun, everybody's covered this now. It's been on all the news shows, Scares, DramaAlert.
Everyone had a jerk circle to this story.
So now I'm wondering what idubbbz can bring to it, if he's going to have any new angle, because everybody's seen the clips of her saying the N-word. They've been memeified, and there's video memes of it. And I'm just curious to see if there's going to be like a hashtag no chin after there was when he did a content cop on Leafy.
Yeah, he really destroyed his career. And she did a live stream on, what was it, I think it was And what ended up happening was she started crying because everybody started tweeting at her all these Snapchats they found of her saying the N-word. Right. And they sent her idubbbz. As soon as she called him out, they probably DM'd her, tweeted at her, all these content cops, and they're like, "You're next." And I'm like, I was talking to my little brother about this because he follows idubbbz, and I'm like, yo, he's really gonna fuck her career up. She's not even gonna have a career.
This is like drama has been so dead the past month, and I feel like it's just slowly starting to become. Starting to get more drama with Zaptie being exposed as a sociopath and a pedophile, sending dick pics to underage girls. This Tana Mongoose thing, the content cop. Linemaker was like 2016, but that was like kind of an old story. Is there something new about Linemaker? He's a pedophile too.
I know. I know the Colossal. Oh, another one. One of my other favorites.
Pedophiles on here, on YouTube.
Apparently, there's way more than we know. I don't like it when people like assume or they don't listen to the word allegedly in that sentence. Or they say they're alleged pedophiles, and they take it as fact.
But I think Zaptie
Keemstar
exposed himself.
has been Yeah, Keemstar has been one of those people that use that to their advantage and actually accused Pyro or whatever. He knows he has a big following and he still like pulled out the story going like, oh yeah, allegedly Pyro was talking to an 11-year-old girl or whatever and
Right.
then try to make him look bad.
But the thing is, there's so many pedo allegations now that it seems like
I don't
what
fuck with
YouTubers are
Keemstar.
not pedophiles? You know, it's like it seems like it's like they're as common as pedophile priests or pedophile Catholic people or
Yeah, those are
whatever.
very well known
It's kind of
Christian
crazy.
camps.
But did you hear about Zaptie or Zaptie? He's a
Who?
Zaptie. He's a smaller commentary channel. He does Hot Wet Soup with Elvis the Alien and Bionic Pig.
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen the only episode I seen was when Colossal was on there. I'm just starting to get into all this
Yeah,
podcast.
so
I always wanted to make one,
they just
just as a side note. But
they just had their last episode of Hot Wet Soup, and it ended because Zaptie, who is like the bear, he's like a bear avatar with buttons for his eyes.
yeah,
I guess he got diagnosed as a sociopath, and also there's allegations that he was sending dick pics to minors and stuff, and so they ended the
yeah.
show.
But
Over
I
that.
mean, why would they ended the show? They should have just kicked him out, and
Yeah,
that's it.
that's
They
what the
could have
debate is
continued
about.
Hot Soup, and that's it. Because if there's somebody you have a problem with, and he's doing some illegal bullshit, allegedly. Let me just add that because I don't want to get backfired bullshit, coming at me. There's gonna be so many people that still want to listen to the podcast, so don't let him ruin it for everybody else. Just kick him
Yeah.
out.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, but they were saying it's just like they can't go on without him because that's like he's a
Pussies.
big part of the show. But I think they might end up starting a new podcast. And off of this, they might even get more subscribers for whatever they do next because this has gotten a lot of coverage now.
Oh, they're doing like a baited, they leave to catch 33, blah blah,
Yeah.
all that shit.
Have you seen the new Catch 33? I just watched the second episode because they just put the video up yesterday for it.
Yeah, I listened to it on SoundCloud and then I watched the video they finally released. It takes them a while
Yeah.
for them to get on
I
YouTube because of
told
the
them
graphics.
they need to get them both out the same day because I don't want to listen to the SoundCloud and then watch the YouTube one again, but I want to see the video of it because he puts time into it.
Oh yeah. But I still listen to it. It's very great. I liked it. They talked about this, the same thing everybody else is talking about with the idubbbz thing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much milk at this point, but it's something to talk about. It's very interesting. None of these things. Well, I mean, most of these things that we're talking about are very trendy, and I guess that makes us a little bit more relevant. But the thing is, none of these topics really come as often. All these conspiracies, even though we know one side is right and the other side is wrong.
Yeah, and the thing is, we haven't recorded for a while, so I feel like I have so much to say, and this podcast is so scatterbrained right now because there's just so many topics that I wanted to discuss. But I think if we do this more frequently, it's easier to kind of like decide on more of a focus for the show. And I think if people are watching, they can let us know in the comments. I don't think a ton of people are going to watch this, but if you did make it this far, even leave a 777 in the comments, or tell me
777 people, 77.
what else should
We
they.
did pretty good though for 33 hours. I mean, not 33 hours, 33 minutes.
Well, we don't have to end it here. I was just trying to interject some. What should they write in the comments?
We should have some commercial breaks,
Commercial breaks. I don't want to put commercial breaks in here.
like little parodies of commercials inside between here, just in case.
You make them and then we'll put them in.
All right, no problem. I don't mind.
Yeah, but it probably is a good point to wrap it up. Unless you have any other topics you want
Oh
to
yeah,
get into.
so I was feeling inspired, and you know how I told you I was gonna work on a mixtape, which I am, and I'm in a process of working on it, and I'm gonna be releasing it very soon, probably sometime next month, and it's coming out nicely. I'll let you listen to it before I even release it.
Yeah, you gotta send me some secret tracks.
Yeah, secret tracks. If nobody hacks me and goes in my Dropbox, I'll be okay. But I was feeling so inspired and so many things to start popping up that I'm like, okay, maybe, before I release the mixtape, I should maybe already post some content on my YouTube channel. That way when people, follow me, they already have something to watch and stuff like that while they wait. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start making some response channels.
Some response videos?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, response videos and, some parodies and stuff like that. I really want to
you've really got to build up the audience. I mean, if you put a lot of work into something like this and drop it, the chances of it getting discovered without, at least some subscribers is very rare. But if you had like a clip or a song from it, I could post it on my channel linking to your channel or something. Probably wouldn't do much.
Oh, yeah, mirror it.
Probably wouldn't do too much, but I mean, you gotta...
Yo, man, I appreciate anything, man. I appreciate you even want to do that.
I'm just happy to have someone to work with in any sense, because I've been trying to collaborate with people and just getting out there and talking, regardless of who listens or not. It just feels good to spew whatever is floating in the ether.
Fuck yeah. Oh, and we got to start working on some skits. I was planning to do some collabs with you.
Yeah, we should talk about that off air.
Yeah, we should. Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure I could talk about this. So you live in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm having a friend move to Florida. I might come and visit sometime soon as he moves.
All right, man, just give me a heads up.
All right, no problem. We'll actually, we could actually do like a live vlog together or some shit. Imagine that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Hey, let's wrap this up because we're rambling. We can keep talking, but we got to leave this rolling. But thank you all for listening to the Midnite Snax podcast. My name's Dan. You can find me at Mandoreen on Twitter. And this is Leon. Where can we find you on Twitter?
At Leon Encore.
That's right.
LeonEncore. And I have a YouTube channel with no contact on it yet, but you are also welcome to subscribe.
Yeah, well, nobody wants to subscribe to your shit channel. I'm sorry. Nobody wants.
Fuck you, nigga.
But links for all of that will be down in the box of descriptions and prescription medications. So check that out. But that's all for tonight. We'll talk to you all later. Bye, 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 bye.